The United States committed genocide against its own people, and they renamed it to hide the horror. Hit subscribe now because the Trail of Tears is way worse than what schools teach you. In 1830, President Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act, forcing 100,000 Native Americans from their ancestral lands in the Southeast. The Cherokee, Choctaw, Creek, Chickasaw, and Seminole nations were given a choice: abandon everything or be killed. They called their homes for thousands of years. America wanted the land for cotton plantations and gold. The U.S. Army rounded up entire tribes at gunpoint. Families were dragged from their homes with only the clothes on their backs. They weren't allowed to pack food, grab belongings, or bury their dead. Soldiers burned their villages behind them so they couldn't return. Over 100,000 people were forced to march 1,200 miles from Georgia to Oklahoma in the dead of winter. No shoes. No warm clothes. No food. No wagons for the sick. Smallpox and cholera spread through the columns. Children froze to death in their mothers' arms. The elderly collapsed and were left to die on the roadside. At least 15,000 people died during the march. That's one death every 500 feet for 1,200 miles. Bodies lined the entire route. Mass graves were dug along the trail. Some nights, half the camp would die from cold and disease. Survivors said the screams of dying children never stopped. When survivors reached Oklahoma, they found barren land that couldn't support crops. Thousands more died from starvation. The U.S. government took their fertile homelands and gave them a wasteland. Andrew Jackson called it a success. The Cherokee called it the trail where we cried, the Trail of Tears. The U.S. never apologized. Andrew Jackson's face is on the $20 bill. The genocide is taught as Indian removal in schools to hide what really happened. They renamed genocide to erase the horror, but the trail still remembers those 15,000 bodies.